Welcome everybody to the Moontails Anime Podcast. I'm your host Law from the channel Justice, and here I have with me today my co-host Azumi,
Hi, how are you?
and then I have our two guests for this week, Hawk
Ayo again.
and Zena.
Hi.
This week we'll be discussing the first nine episodes, or first 44 chapters of Jojo's Bizarre Adventure. It's known as Phantom Blood, and I myself have already seen it. I love Jojo's, but here we have Azumi, who's seen it relatively recently, and Hawk and Zena, who just are fresh. How do you guys feel about it?
Very fresh.
But they're fresh instead of Ken.
All the characters are pretty sus.
What?
Yeah.
What? What? How? Like name one sus character.
Theo.
Yeah.
Yo,
damn.
how is he sus? How is he sus?
He stares at
He-
Jonathan with his eyes.
He literally kissed a girl, even though it was sexual assault.
Just to make Jonathan jealous.
I
Yeah.
don't think you can count that as a pass. Like, oh, he kissed a girl.
He only
One.
did it to get Jonathan's attention because
Yeah,
he really
there were
loves him.
so many things wrong.
It's not like that. It's not
It's
like
gay
that.
It's literally gay vibes.
No.
He's sacrificing his
Okay,
first kiss for
Okay.
Jonathan.
Okay. I must say, in the future, Dio is hella gay. But
No, he's always
Well,
been gay.
see,
this arc,
The kiss
did
was
it.
just trying to hide it.
he wasn't that gay in this arc. Like,
he was in the closet, but like coming out, you know. So he was trying to make it tell. That's why he kicked and burned his dog, you know, out of affection.
no,
trying to
get-
Dio
he was
just
trying-
doesn't like dogs.
No, he was trying to get his attention. That's
Okay.
why.
No,
Eh?
that
I felt
dog
bad for
thing
the
was
dog.
terrible.
Okay,
Yeah.
It was awful.
before we get into that, I just want a general idea of everyone. Like, Hawk, how did you feel about it?
Okay. It's not bad, but it's like it's good, but it's like really weird and confusing. Like
That's the best part of JoJo. Zena, what was your first impression?
Okay, it wasn't bad. It was good, but also I'm like I need to keep watching because like off of these 9 episodes. I'm still not like whoa. I need to see more, you know. So like I need to keep watching. I guess that's just how I felt. I was like, okay,
I'm
it's
going to
decent.
get a
can
lot of hate
understand that.
from the JoJo's community when I say this, but I feel like Phantom Blood is the weakest of the parts that are out.
Mhm.
Yeah, just
I
one.
enjoyed
it's,
it
It's lengthy.
I
Don't get me wrong. I
understand.
enjoyed it as well. I
It's because
really
it got
liked
to the
it.
point. Like it got to the point really quickly. Not like
Yeah.
part 3 that like took so long.
I
It
just
was
got
just
really
an
Part
adventure
confused
that
about
wasn't
it.
Part
necessary.
3 is goaded.
I'm
I love
sorry,
part
I
3.
didn't like it. But on to still in
Where
part
you
1.
get us canceled.
I don't
No.
know.
It just got
I
right to the
couldn't.
point. It was like it felt like a movie. Like
It did.
Everything
It did
was
feel
all
like a
there.
movie. I want to say, like, honestly, in all anime that I've seen, like, the first episode, Dio the Invader, was like one of the best ways to get like directly into the action, like starting from the
Okay,
backstory
yeah.
of his family, like how it was kind of planting the seeds from the very beginning that yes, these two families are intertwined by fate, and that is something that persists throughout the whole series that I completely love. Like throughout hundreds of years, different dimensions, everything. These families are like completely intertwined.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
I guess like I get that, but I still like I know it gets really good or just like it will get better from this point. It's just that it didn't hook me. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know.
That's fair. I think you just some things you gotta watch based on their reputation. But
yeah.
then again, honestly, JoJo's is a very niche thing. Like, if you aren't enjoying it, then like you might not enjoy the later parts. Because sure, the writing does get slightly better, but the jokes are still funny as Jokes aside.
Yeah.
They are.
One thing I found was like at the very end of this part, I was even more confused than when I started it. Like I just keep getting more and more confused, and I'm like, what the heck is actually going on? So I feel like I need to like go back and rewatch it just to like get a better understanding of it. But then
Okay.
it's just like if I do that, then I feel like I'm just gonna like not enjoy it. So it's
There
just
were,
like I don't know what to do. Do I just carry on and like
I think you should just
stay
carry on because
confused?
part 2 is like when he starts getting hot, like really good. I think part 2,
Dio
I
gets
start
hot?
loving. Okay, wait,
Is that
no,
what you
not in
just
that
said?
way, not in that way, not
Did
in
you say
that
Dio
way.
gets hot?
Like,
No,
Because I agree. He's
wait,
always been hot.
Dio is hot, but I was saying like part 2 is when like it starts, like the plot starts picking up and it starts catching speed. That's a better way of saying it. 'Cause,
Yeah.
like,
okay.
starts
Okay.
part 2 is when it gets hot.
It starts getting hot in your word.
Yeah. It starts getting really hot.
I love part 2, man. Like the comedy in part 2, and like it doesn't even feel like a shonen anime. It just feels like just a comedy. Like it doesn't like, whereas part 3 feels a lot more of like a shonen.
Definitely.
You
But
guys will
back to
see.
part 1.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's not detract too much.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was very confusing. I can understand that. Like when I was introduced to, what was the thing, Haman, the power system of like breathing,
Yeah.
I was like, wow,
Yeah.
this is very
Yeah.
confusing. What in the hell is this?
Yeah.
I think part of the reason why I was so confused throughout it was because I was watching it in math class because I was so bored in math. So I'm like, let's just watch this
That's
instead of
me in
doing
high
math.
school. That's me
So
in
it
high
was
school.
just like I was watching that. The teacher didn't even notice. That's the thing that I found really confusing was the teacher would like tell off the kids for being on their phone and stuff. And then I've just got my laptop there, like pretending to do practice assessments, but there'd be no work in my book and it's just playing Jojo's and she'll walk past me and look over my shoulder and be like, oh, yep, and carry on. And I'm like, okay.
Jojo's is why you failed your math class.
But yeah.
How did you guys like just like the overall story? Because like I felt it was, I liked the drama, I liked the history aspect, like the mystery behind like the stone masks. I like kind of what he had to do, but I just want to hear your opinion before I give mine.
I found the stone mask interesting. Like that's something that hooked me and made me want to keep watching like the other episodes of the like thing because it was just like it was there from like the very start and then like you see it like in like different parts and everything and it's just like, oh yeah. So it's like so then you have an understanding of like, okay, this is going to be a significant part throughout the like part 1, I guess, and everything. And then like so like
to be fair,
yeah.
it's a significant thing throughout the series.
Okay. See, I didn't know, so it's just like I don't know.
No, like at
But
least
yeah.
early on, it's one
So
of the like.
that's something that hooked me. And
Okay, how about
that.
you, Zena? Anything
Okay,
catch your
I
eye?
found like the stone mask thing. It was interesting, cool. I liked Dio's backstory and stuff. Like that was intriguing. And then it kind of goes into like his life now when he was like at the house and stuff, like with the Joan. Whoa, what am I even saying?
Jonathan.
Yeah, Jonathan's family and stuff. And whenever he's over there, it kind of like makes sense. It just gives more of like a reason. And I liked that. I liked his backstory.
I will talk about this more later, but like I think Dio's like a really well written character.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, his character's
even though he's kind of portrayed as like this agent of complete chaos who only wants to do like destruction, but he's very methodical. He's not just doing these actions for no reason, and two, I felt like he was an empathetic character in a certain way, especially when during Azumi's favorite scene when he kicked Daddy.
Oh my god.
I was angry.
I
What do you
hated that
mean?
part. It's like the poor dog. Like it's
Okay,
just
here are my
a
thoughts
dog.
about
Like
it. Like,
kick it. Like it's just like no.
Uh,
go
Oh,
ahead.
that was terrible.
all right, Azumi, go ahead. Tell us
Oh,
why it was your
um,
favorite scene.
why it was my favorite scene? It wasn't my favorite scene. I was so upset. Like, I was just vibing, right? It's in another century. It feels like it has a really good vibe. Jonathan's just living his everyday life. He has a fiance. He's just vibing, and then this dude comes out of nowhere and kicks his dog. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, but to
man.
be fair, the dog was
Then
running
he,
at him.
Oh my
but it
gosh,
was
the
happy.
dog was
It
living
was
its
really happy.
life.
It
It's
looked
not
happy.
dogs
It looked
too.
joyful. Even
Okay, can I just say dogs always run
wait,
up on
even Jonathan told him that he was harmless, and this dude still kicked him.
Yeah, and what did he
literally.
say? I hate dogs. So isn't it
Yeah,
fair?
but he didn't have to do
No.
that. He didn't have to
You
do
Yeah.
that.
don't
He could
have
have
to
stepped
kick it.
away.
You don't
Like,
Okay,
don't try
okay,
to defend this asshole.
okay,
Like,
sure, okay,
that
sure.
was a
You
dick
guys,
move.
you guys can say that's a dick move, but was it really a dick move when he put him in the incinerator?
It
Yes.
was.
That was even
That
worse.
wasn't his
I'm
dog.
not everyone's a
That
dog
wasn't his
person.
dog.
But don't do that.
Okay, but like think of it this way: if you were that dog, how would you feel? You would feel so upset. You're getting
Yeah,
kicked
but I
in the
wouldn't go
face, and
near
then you're
somebody
getting
who
burned
looks like
alive.
Dio. I would not go anywhere near Dio.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter if I'm a dog, I'm a tree, or I'm a bird, I'm a human. I don't care. I would not go near Dio
Because you would be.
Yeah, but like still.
because I'd be too turned
Oh.
on. I mean, he's because he's a terrifying person. How did you guys like Jonathan as a character?
Jonathan. His
He's a
character.
wholesome man. Respects
Yeah.
women.
he's a little too wholesome sometimes, but okay.
Yeah.
I loved him. I loved how buff he was. Like
Yeah.
part one's art style and part two, like I just love it because they're like they have no sense of anatomy. Like their shoulders will be like double the size of their heads.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like that's how I draw it now. Is like, let's do a tiny head, big body. Like that's what I feel like I do.
Jonathan in the manga is too funny.
Yeah.
Like
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen it?
I haven't seen the manga.
Just Google it. Just Google it. I'll try
Google
to
it?
find something.
Oh wait, that big like
Yes.
the image
Yes.
of him with the small head and a really
Yes.
big buff body.
I just
Yes.
searched it up.
Jonathan.
Oh my gosh.
I started dying.
I don't know. Like there
Oh,
was that
yeah,
one
I've seen
I
that.
feel the only character that at least looked somewhat normal was Dio.
Dio
Yeah.
Dio was just good looking. Like I mean he was a
Yeah.
good he was drawn well.
Yeah.
I'd
Yeah,
agree
for
with that.
Dio's
Let's talk about Best Girl though.
Speedwagon. Speedwagon.
We can't continue this without
Okay.
talking
let's-
about Best Girl.
Let's talk about the best girl in anime, Speedwagon. His introduction was really good. Like
He's
I like
caring,
Speedwagon.
he's kind. I
Yeah.
like him.
like
I like
how
his
he
character.
was how he was like
Yeah.
a gangster, how he was a gangster on Ogre Street, and then Jonathan doesn't kick him super hard and he decides I'm gonna be loyal to this guy for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
That's so funny to me because it's like soft-hearted, like, oh no, like so
Mm.
caring. But his beginning was so funny to me, just how
It
it
was pretty
switched.
funny. It was pretty funny. But he was such a wholesome character. And
He was.
another
His
funny
I
thing,
liked his introduction because like it was like he found like he realized like I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but like his introduction was good. Yeah, I lost my words.
that's fine. How did you guys like Zeppeli? Like you think Baron Zeppeli?
Oh, that guy. I found it like I was really confused because I was just like he's following this. There's this guy just following them, and I'm just like, what's happening? And then it's just like,
Yeah.
oh, he like does something with his lungs, okay, and then it's just like, what the heck is happening? And then it's like his
Yeah.
arm is healed. And I was like really confused. And I'm
No.
like, oh, okay, he's like this magical human person.
Now
Who
that you
can
guys
make-
have seen JoJo's and you understand what Hamon is, you guys
Yeah.
now understand that Demon Slayer is a JoJo reference.
Okay, I get it
I
now.
haven't seen Demon Slayer, so I don't know.
And they have
Oh, I
breathing
get
powers
it.
there. They have breathing powers.
Oh, okay.
Or it's like breathing techniques or whatever. It's like, oh, let me do. I don't even know. They have like 10 of them or something, and they're like, I'm gonna do this one real quick.
And then Gyu, being a badass, decides, oh, there's 10 techniques. I'm going to do the 11th one. I did not like Demon Slayer at all. Anyways, let's talk.
I
haven't
okay.
seen it.
Demon Slayer's like growing on me. But back to
I
JoJo's.
don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have to rewatch and see if
Alright.
my mind would be changed at all.
What?
Demon Slayer.
Oh, yeah. It was bad. Zumi,
It's growing on
what did you
me.
think? Do you even remember Zeppeli?
Zeppeli?
Yeah.
No.
He was the one who taught JoJo Hamon. He punched the
Yeah, I
frog.
don't remember him. It's been a really long time.
Oh,
Uh,
Oh, the frog scene. I don't know.
The
I
frog
found
scene.
that really
Oh
funny.
wait, is it the
I
crazy
found it
dude with the
really
hat?
funny.
yeah, the one that got ripped in half.
Okay, yeah, I remember him.
I have to say, like, the minor villains in part one were like really not memorable.
Mm,
No,
I can see how that is. I can see how.
I watched it like
I
2
remember
days
Arena.
ago, and I don't really remember.
No, I said
Arena-chan.
I said like villains, like Jack the Ripper and well, Bruford and the other guy were okay.
Oh wait, I completely forgot about Jack the Ripper.
Same.
I
Oh,
was
wow.
thinking
You
about
guys
it.
like
I
watched
was
it
like, was
yesterday.
there
You're
a
like,
Jack
oh,
the
who the
Ripper?
hell is Jack the Ripper?
Okay,
I was
to be
thinking
fair,
about it,
I've
but I
actually
didn't wanna
watched
say
this
it in
since
case I was-
last week when we did podcast. I've watched it since
Oh.
then, technically.
Mm.
I don't know
So-
when Jack the Ripper gets brought up, but
It
I
was
didn't
like
rewatch
really
the first
early.
2 episodes.
It was really, really early. I think it was like right when they met.
Oh yeah, then
Oh.
I wouldn't have remembered because like I watched the first 2 episodes like a year ago, and the only thing that stuck with me was like the dog, and that was it. Like no, like other things stuck with me, but it like every time I thought about JoJo's, I was like that poor dog just living his life, but not anymore.
Art.
But not anymore.
Not anymore. Bruford was good. I think like the sword, the hair
Oh,
guy.
okay.
It was
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
weird. The hair was pretty weird, honestly.
Yeah, no, that was pretty weird.
Well, that's JoJo's. Everything is weird in JoJo's.
Yeah.
But I liked. I think we spoke about this earlier about the whole luck versus pluck thing. Zena, you want to
Luck
talk about it?
versus pluck.
Oh, well, they said, I don't know, or like, I cannot explain it as good as you, but I just found it funny because whenever I watched it, right, he gives him the sword and it says luck on it. And then he, in his blood, puts the B and then they just say pluck. And I found that so funny. I was like, oh my gosh, why'd they change it to pluck? And of course, it has a deeper meaning. But
Yeah.
like, whenever I watched it, I was like, oh my gosh, why'd they change it to pluck?
Okay, I guess I'll explain it quickly for those who might not know. Like luck and pluck is like an old phrase. It talks about how some people gain what they want through like either good fortune or like sneaky or underhanded means. Those are people who are called luck. And in the story, Dio would be the one who is characterized as somebody who's gained everything through luck. He was lucky his dad found what was it, George Joestar's carriage overturned. He was lucky that he got taken in by the family, and even while he was taken in, he was trying to get more and more through illegitimate means. Whereas like Jonathan, on the other hand, like symbolizes pluck, which means that people who have had to make their way through life through hard efforts, courage, or like resolution in the face of difficulties, like things along those
Jonathan?
lines. Yeah, Jonathan, he
Really?
actually had things going hard. Like
He
ever
was
since
He
rich.
did like his
he,
like
he
his
was
his
rich,
dad.
but
Well,
guess
like-
what? The moment Dio came, like his life was shit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
True.
his dad started
killed his
like
dog.
being rude to him.
What do you mean he was like?
He kissed his fiance.
Yeah, he did. Like he ruined his life, and still Jonathan was so wholesome and nice to actually love him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true. That's where like I get it. Jonathan's all like wholesome, but I'm like, come on, Jonathan.
Yeah,
dog
aren't they
is
gonna
dead.
like burn him too?
Yeah.
Mm. Jonathan would if I mean Dio would if he could, but I think like the stone masks and
Deal did.
the
What do you
idea
mean?
and the idea and the ideas of like what is it called? What was it called? The vampires. How did you guys think like? How do you guys feel about that?
As someone who absolutely loves vampires, I liked it.
Oh yeah, it was intriguing. It was nice.
Yeah, it was
It
intriguing.
was nice.
It was cool.
I thought it came out of nowhere. Oh,
True.
It came out of nowhere,
True.
but it was cool.
Azumi, were you
Because-
saying something?
Said it gave me Twilight vibes.
Twilight.
Oh, maybe like Dio could be Edward. Maybe that's why he's saying it's hot
Really?
later.
Yeah.
Didn't Edward have like black hair? I don't remember.
He had
Well,
like
you
a
know-
dirty blonde.
Edward
yeah,
Cullen.
they can't
What do
get copyrighted though, so they gotta switch it up.
Yeah, Twilight copied JoJo's. Definitely.
Definitely. All the way through.
Yeah. Dio, Edward, same thing.
Wait, let me.
I'd watch Twilight
see.
if Dio was in it. I'd watch it.
Oh,
His hair is more of
I've
a.
watched all of them.
Edward's hair color is more like dark brown,
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
so it's like, yeah,
It's not like I
you know,
watched
they
it or
can't get
anything.
copyrighted.
blonde.
But it was actually the movies were actually really bad. I gotta say.
Dio would be more his brother Jasper because Jasper has blonde hair.
Oh yeah, true.
You guys remember these
See?
characters?
Smart.
All I remember is
I
like
rewatch it with my
there was,
mom
like-
like every
I-
couple
I
months.
liked the short red hair girl.
Eh?
I don't know if you guys remember her.
I just remember they played baseball in the first movie, and I found that hilarious.
You didn't put the baseball scene.
They played baseball. Ha.
Like
Like,
baseball in
Huh?
the rain. It was so cool.
how is that cool? It was just so dumb.
Oh my god.
was
they played
funny.
baseball.
I'm so uncultured. I clearly don't understand the thematic complexity of this
Yeah, you
cinematic
don't
masterpiece.
understand.
Right, Azumi?
They would hit
I-
the ball whenever it was lightning. Okay.
They
The
all look like
radiant-
just a bunch of theater kids that were literally just taken to the park and told to play baseball. Like that's it. They didn't even look
Oh,
like they
they're
were acting to be
vampires.
vampires. They didn't even act like vampires, bro. They were just weird. They were just weird.
The red-haired vampire is Victoria, by the way.
Oh, I
Oh,
remember
thank you.
her.
All right, let's
didn't
watch
Just thought I'd
Vampire
say that.
Diaries. Let's do it. How many episodes are Vampire Diaries?
Oh, I've actually
A few.
my secret is I've actually watched all of Vampire Diaries twice.
Oh wait, no. Vampire Diaries isn't the anime. I was thinking about Vampire Nights.
Vampire Nights. Oh, that's what I
Oh.
started anime off of.
Oh,
Ah,
I wanna
okay,
watch
this is
it
too many
because it has
episodes.
vampires.
I like
It has like
It's
24.
wanna
Diabolic
watch it.
Lovers.
don't watch it. She ends up with like her cousin or something.
Don't watch it. Oh,
Yeah, yeah. She ends up
Poor
with like her
vampires.
cousin.
why does everything with vampires have to be so weird?
Yeah, I
Because
don't
they're
know.
weird. Except Dio. Dio's not weird at
The
all.
vampires are cool.
I
Dio
can't
is
make
not
the noise that
weird
he kept
at
making,
all.
but I found it really funny.
Definitely.
It was
Which
like,
one was it?
Ah,
Something like that.
Dad! That was my favorite thing.
I love Dio. I love Dio so much, man. Like it's a little bit too much. But I didn't the vampire thing, like I said, was threw me off at first. I was like
Yeah,
Azumi said,
I
like
get
I
how
thought
you
it was
could.
gonna be that also the breathing, the hum on, those two things kind of threw me off. I didn't think it was gonna be
Yeah.
like a fantasy type series. Not fantasy, like a supernatural series.
I don't
Yeah, that
know.
was me.
Yeah.
I guess it just threw me off, but also like I watched Demon Slayer. Like I'm actually gonna read the manga, but like I don't know why I thought that was different. But whenever they started breathing and then there was like electricity, I was like, what?
They're
I guess
harnessing
I
the power of the
just
sun. They're trees.
oh
Photosynthesis.
no.
Let's do it.
With me, with the like all the mythical.
Like,
Oh,
man, they're gonna
it's-
do a tournament or something. Like, I just felt those vibes. Like,
Bro,
damn,
well, they
why are they
did
all so
box.
muscular?
They did box.
Yeah, but like,
That's
I'm just
true,
saying,
but,
like, just by the cover or like what I saw from it, I just thought it was gonna be like that.
Yeah, just a
Something
lot of
like
buff
Kenichi.
dudes.
Oh, Kenichi. Kenichi was a nice show.
Kenichi
The
was
only
so
thing I
good.
knew before like
mightiest
watching JoJo's was the stand. So I thought they were gonna like I don't
I
even
didn't
know
understand the
what they were gonna
stands.
do. I
You-
thought they
you
were just
guys-
gonna pose.
It hasn't happened yet, so you guys don't need to worry about that.
Yeah.
You have to like wait till
Yeah.
like part 3. Part 2 though.
I hear
That's a
people talking
lot.
about the stands, but I'm like I don't understand what they're for.
Oh
or
no,
what
I don't
or
get them.
anything.
And I
Like,
I
I'm so
answered 100
confused.
questions off of stands.
Mm. Yeah, let's leave that until later. Honestly, let's focus on part 1 and what was great about
Yeah.
part 1. Dio, I felt like shined the best in part 1. I absolutely loved like every scene that he was in.
Mm.
It's just
Those
those
are, like-
characters, especially
Yeah.
antagonists, who when they're on screen, they just take all the attention away, and like there's like a spotlight put on them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Dio
felt
took
that
that
with Dio
spotlight.
I felt like Dio did that completely.
I loved
Definitely.
my favorite scene was like the Speedwagon one when he first gets introduced. That was my favorite scene
Mm.
because it's just like he's
Okay.
throwing his hat, but then he's just like, and then like and all that, and it's just like, wait, what the heck? Like it just stopped, and then
yes.
it's just like, what? But it was really cool. That was my
I want
favorite
to caress his hair.
scene.
Azumi, what was your favorite scene besides the
Dio.
dog getting kicked?
It wasn't the dog. It really wasn't the dog. Huh. Good question.
Okay, we'll move on to Xena.
I
What was-
Well, I don't know. The scenes I liked were just the ones that made me laugh. Like I like the frog one because it was weird. He hits it and
Yeah,
then like the
that was a
frog
good
kind
one.
of jumps a little
What a-
bit, but
what
then it's
about-
like I don't
What
know.
about that scene where they're in the fire and they're falling down, and Dio like kicks Jonathan down, and he's like, "Goodbye, Jojo."
I like that scene too.
That was a good one. That was funny.
Oh, it's hilarious. Azumi, do you have a moment?
I really don't. Like I
That's
said, I
fine.
don't really remember very much of it.
Damn.
So, yeah.
Hmm. What about the Thunder Cross split attack? I think that's what it's
Oh,
called.
wait. I remember. I remember. It was when he was like, when Dio had like this crazy face and he was pointing at himself and he was like, "It was me, Dio." I think it was.
That was like the first or
when-
second episode.
I know, but it
Yeah.
was so funny to me. Like his face.
Yeah, that became a meme, definitely.
It was me, Dio.
Kono Dio da. Dio just has like the most quotable things.
I can see why. It's funny.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just love his character, man.
Mhm.
Yeah.
One of my favorite
Yeah, no, for
was
sure.
who was it? I forget what his name was. Who he used a Thunder Cross split attack. It wasn't Strazo. It was a different guy. I forgot his name.
I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember the guy's name.
What was
Me
it?
either.
Was it? I can't even remember. Thunder cross split attack. Anyways, when he did that and he's like, "Oh, been caught in my trap," and then Dio just freezes.
Oh, I remember that.
Also, Dio was just so unnecessarily cruel. Like he was experimenting on people, using his abilities to turn them into chimeras, fusing them with animals. Like Dio was
Oh
abusive.
yeah.
Guy's a
Yes.
terrible person. Best character though.
I don't
His
know.
name's
I think,
Oh,
I think
Daya.
there's one scene where like whenever he switches out the medicine and then
Oh,
Jonathan is
Oh
like,
yeah.
what did you do with that medicine? And then he says like, put it on your father, like say promise on your father or something. And he was like, why would I do that? And then he was like, I knew you did something, but then it goes back to the father. I'm like, the father was terrible.
yeah. Yeah. Dio's backstory was depressing. Like how him and his mother got
was sad.
abused by his like drunk father. It was hella sad.
Yeah.
It was sad, but I kind of expected it because, like, when you first meet the guy, like, he's like horrible. So, like, when it went back to
Pretty guy.
Dio's like flashback, I'm like, okay, this is going to be a fairly sad
His
flashback.
sad anime backstory.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else was there? Like, what other characters were there that we haven't covered yet?
The JoJo's love interest girl.
Erina.
Yeah, her. I
Yeah.
forgot her name.
She was
She
so
was-
wholesome.
She was so basic.
What?
I mean-
You're only calling her that because she was white and had blonde hair.
What do you mean? There's no racism on this podcast.
Of course.
I don't
of course.
know.
No,
She
she
was
was
so
just so
wholesome.
basic. Like
What do you mean?
she like had no quirks. Like I don't know. Every character in JoJo's usually has like a random quirk.
She was strong-willed.
No, she wasn't.
Yes, she was.
Oh, okay, yeah, I guess so.
I guess so.
I don't know. I just didn't feel like she was. She didn't like stand out to me at all. Like
I
compared to like
liked her.
other
but
female
then-
characters in the series. Oh yeah, go ahead.
There's
Hal.
like no one else in part one.
Like I liked her, but like I also didn't at the same time, if you know what I mean. Like it's like I don't know how to put it, but like it's just like I liked her because like she was like strong-willed, like wanted, like was there, like wanting, and like was helping JoJo, stuff like that. But then it was just like I also didn't like her because she just like I didn't really like have anything there for me, kind of thing. Like
She didn't have
didn't
anything
have-
there in general. Like she
Yeah.
was not interesting.
yeah, it was kind of like boring.
Even
yeah.
even like Jonathan, who was like the extreme wholesome person who's not like doing anything weird or crazy, like he was still in like pretty funny scenes and moments, like where
Yeah.
you got to see him being wholesome in a scene where maybe he shouldn't be. Like he should not care about Dio at all
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he shouldn't, but he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah.
because he's a
just really
wholesome young
wholesome.
lad.
I don't know. I just like the girl, she was just kind of forgetful. Like
Yeah.
didn't
You mean-
stand out much.
Yeah, she was very forgettable.
Yeah.
I love Dio's scene where he was like, "I reject my humanity, Jojo." I love Dio,
Yeah.
man. He just has the best quotes, like in this series, just the best quotes.
Yeah. Yeah. There's that boy.
Oh yeah, that little
Who
kid that
steals
didn't
the-
matter.
Boy.
Oh
There's
yeah.
always like a kid in JoJo's who like doesn't
There's
matter.
two actually. There's
There's always,
two
like, just-
kids.
Which other kid was there besides that one?
The one at the very end when the Irina is holding and stuff, and like she
Oh, no,
saves
I
him.
mean,
The
like,
baby?
Not a baby.
Yeah,
I'm
the
talking
little
about like a kid between like maybe 8 and
Oh.
12.
Oh,
Like,
that's
there's
okay,
always
yeah,
like
there's
one
kind of
character
fair.
in JoJo's
Just
like
one.
that has it. It was just very unnecessary. Well, not unnecessary. Smokey in part 2 was pretty funny. But yeah, you guys will see. You guys will see that when you get there.
Okay.
The one from part 1 was just so forgettable. What was his name?
I don't know. Sorry.
Oh wait. I think I know.
I just
think I
remember
know.
he waved Jojo.
Was it
off.
Puck? Was it Puck or something?
Who
It
knows?
started with the P.
I think Puck was Berserk.
Oh. I like Puck in Berserk. Puck was
Hold on.
Puck was so wholesome in Berserk. He's my favorite character.
He's adorable.
Like he
Um,
made like such a dark series actually like fun.
Yes.
Like it would have been depressing if he wasn't there. Like every chapter you'd just be crying.
But yeah, the
This
little
trauma.
boy.
Poco.
The
That's his
trauma.
name.
Poco. Okay, well I was
Yeah.
close enough. I said Puck.
You were
Yeah.
close.
I was
Sort of.
close enough.
Close, but not close enough.
Yeah.
I just remember him for waving off.
Overall though, like what would you guys say you disliked the most about part 1?
I just couldn't like. It was good. I just couldn't really get into it. So
What
Yeah.
reason do you have though? Like
I
if
just
you
got
can.
really confused. I'm just so
it
confused
was
with like
like-
everything that's happened. That's
I
just like,
didn't like the animal abuse.
yeah.
Okay, that's fair. But like
Yes, join in
Dio
with
got
the Hawk.
abused when he was a kid too. So you know it
Okay,
should
it doesn't give him the right to
Yeah.
abuse everyone else. Just because he got abused.
What do you mean?
It doesn't
What do you
give
mean?
him a right.
The
Just 'cause you
dog ran at him.
He's gonna abuse the dog just because he
Okay.
got abused.
Peter,
That doesn't
don't
make
cancel.
sense. Also,
Leave us
Jonathan
alone.
specifically told him that the dog was safe. He was okay.
Okay, but how do you know that's just not his instinct?
Oh my god. He told him before and the dog wasn't running at him. He
Oh,
literally
he
stopped.
was.
He stopped
was.
though.
Okay.
He
The dog
stopped. He was like,
stopped.
he's
But
Plus, he
still-
said that it wasn't even an
He's friendly.
accident.
He's
He said,
friendly.
like, in,
Okay,
like,
of course it wasn't an
his
accident.
mind, like it
Dio
wasn't an
is
accident.
Stop trying to
cruel.
defend this psychopath.
I'm not defending him.
Yeah.
I'm not
We know
defending
you
him.
love
You're
Dio,
trying
but
to
stop
defend
defending
animal
him.
abuse.
I am
How
not
could
defending
you?
him. He put him in the incinerator for self-defense.
No,
I don't even know what
No.
to say.
the dog
What?
wasn't even in the house. The
Bro,
dog wasn't even in the
he was
house.
scared. Like the dog was looking at him sideways. You know.
No.
We know you love Dio,
It
but put your
wasn't.
love aside and just know that Dio is in the
Yeah.
wrong here.
The dog made him anxious, okay?
The dog died. The dog died.
Okay, but guess what? Dio also died. So
Okay, but the dog died, and for what? Nothing. Nothing.
The
wanted
dog
to
died from
torture him.
Dio.
I love how you guys care more about a dog getting abused than Arena getting abused. I felt like that was way worse when he like
Arena
grabbed her
got
and kissed
abused,
her.
sure, but like the dog,
How is the dog more important? Like,
The dog properly
the dog
died.
got burned.
Okay. Arena
Okay.
is still alive.
But it's a
out there with
dog,
a
like-
baby.
Okay, but the
It's-
dog got burned alive. Did
okay,
Arena
Yeah.
no,
get
that's pretty
burned
messed up.
alive?
It's
I
pretty
don't
messed
think
up.
so.
Don't get
I
me
don't
wrong.
think so.
It's
She
pretty
had
messed
a
up.
like after the
Well, like-
abuse, she at least had like a happy ending, a semi-happy
had it
ending.
How
with
did she have a
Jonathan.
happy ending? The
And
love of her
She's
life was
still
murdered.
alive.
Yeah,
She
but they
has a
were happy
baby.
because they were married. Like she
Okay.
finally got like some
Yeah.
sort of a fairy tale ending, even
Until
though
it
it
was
didn't add
robbed
up.
right after.
Yeah, but at least she had it. Did the dog have
Yeah,
that?
at
No.
least she
The
has
dog
the
got to live a
kid.
long, happy life before
No,
Dio
it
came.
didn't. It wasn't even long. It was not long. It
Nah,
was short
He
lived.
had him from
It
when
was
he was a
short
kid.
lived.
He was probably at least like 10 years old at that point.
No,
Who
that
knows?
dog did not deserve to die no matter what
Yeah.
age.
That dog just wanted to live.
Obviously, it didn't deserve to
The
die.
dog was
but,
just
like,
enjoying life. He just wanted to
Okay,
rest and he goes
okay,
and
It was
gets
okay.
killed.
vibing.
Okay. My name is Law, and I do not endorse animal cruelty. Okay, you guys are happy?
That's all
Sure.
we wanted
Guys
to
are
know.
happy?
Yeah.
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 It deserved it.
What? I slap you. I slap you now.
uh, slap me in Spanish.
Slaps you in Spanish. But anyway, like, man, Abuse isn't okay, guys.
Don't abuse
Really?
people.
Really? Oh my god. I would have never known that if you guys didn't just tell me that right now. For my whole life, without knowing that abuse is wrong. Wow.
We
Well,
do not
at least
enforce
you know now.
You know.
We are very non-abusive people, as you can see.
Alright. So Zena, what was your least favorite? I don't remember. You just said you couldn't get into it.
I don't know. I just like it was good. It was confusing too, but it was like okay. It was mediocre.
I personally
That's what I'd say.
like I didn't enjoy the minor villains. I think that would probably be my least favorite. Like they just
Oh,
felt
yeah.
like Jack the Ripper, like didn't matter.
Mm.
Um
I didn't even remember Jack the Ripper.
Yeah.
but I love Dio's character. He was probably the highlight of it for me. What was your favorite character? Any of you guys?
Honestly, I love Speedwagon. He's probably my favorite.
Yeah, he's
I
a
don't
nice
know
guy.
why. I don't have a specific reason. He's just like the first one I can think of for characters. I don't know.
What about you, Azumi? Who's your favorite?
I didn't have a favorite in this part. You
What?
guys get to see him in next part.
Okay, I'm talking about just out of this part.
Oh,
Leave Joseph
the
out of
dog.
this.
The dog.
You're telling me you don't even know his name. It's Danny. It's
Look,
Danny.
I
You don't
remember
even know his
I
name.
remember
Look,
his name.
this is the sad part. He died too soon. None of
He
us
did.
know his name because he died too soon.
His name is Danny.
Well, now we know.
I always knew. What do you mean? I always knew. Like my favorite was always the dog. I had like a really big attachment to him.
What about
Like,
you? Zena?
Yeah.
What was your
And then
favorite?
he died.
He died.
Uh,
He literally died.
Just
Like,
got
Okay,
burned
but
alive.
like, bro, Dio, like
I'm
his
laughing
foot
to
probably
cope with it,
hurt from
guys.
kicking him. Like, I feel like it's pretty even there, you know?
He
What?
got himself into that situation by kicking him in the first place, so he deserves
I know,
to
but
have a
like
sore foot.
his leg might have hurt a little bit, you know?
He deserves that after
Yeah.
kicking
Still
the dog.
deserved to die because like it was karma. Why did he kick
Yeah.
that dog and burn it?
Because
See,
he
and then we
had
see
to.
Dio get
He
burned
didn't have
alive
to. It
because
was
he
not
burned
self-defense.
alive a
Okay,
dog.
I
It's
love
all
Dio
making
because he
sense,
just
you know? Karma.
I love Dio because he embodies just unnecessary violence.
Wait, Dio,
like, okay, if I look past the dog
killed your
and I
father?
think about it,
Me, Dio. Who killed your dog? Me, Dio.
Dio just did the most unnecessary stuff that kills me. Like,
Killed
okay, I can't say
dog.
anything else. I can't say
Me,
anything else.
Dio.
But just what?
Who's
Get to part 3.
who's
If you guys get to
bisexual?
part 3,
Me, Dio.
you guys don't
If we
know
get
that
to
yet.
part 3,
Yes,
you were
we
going
do.
to say something, but then you just stopped. You said if we get
Hmm?
to part 3.
I said if we get to part 3, we can have a little bit more of a passionate discussion. I think
I'll
I would.
even start
It would be
up
2
again,
hours
guys.
long. This podcast would be 2 hours long if we're on part 3.
Okay.
okay.
And a solid hour and 50 minutes of that would be about Dio.
Of course, because you just love Dio so much.
Yeah,
I'm
like
gonna talk
maybe
about
that might be the
Hakusho
reason.
or whatever his name is.
No,
Okay.
you
That
say
cherry scene, guys. That cherry scene.
Oh, kakyoin. I
Little,
love
little,
kakyoin.
little.
Little. Honestly, I love part 3. Just, I don't know.
It has
Part
a
3 was
lot of
just a
hilarious
vibe.
moments.
Part
but
3
it
was a
was
vibe.
just, it's too long. I know
That's what
that's
she
a
said.
really bad argument, but it's too slow. Like it didn't get right to the point.
It was very episodic
And
in the
I'm very
beginning.
like disappointed with that because part
I'm-
1 and part 2 wasn't like that.
I am telling you, the
Is it worse to wait?
climax, hell yeah. The ending of part 3 is like top 5 fights in anime. Period. Not just in JoJo. In anime.
Man,
Interesting. I'll keep
It's
that
hard.
in mind.
Like, it is just goated. Absolutely love it. It's up there with like Meruem versus Netero, all the great ones.
Yeah.
I see.
Interesting.
But
Very, very
part 2 is
interesting.
just comedy. You guys will have fun doing that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's
We'll cover it
that's what I want
sometime.
to watch.
We'll cover it sometime in the future, on the podcast.
Nice.
But as for this podcast, any final thoughts on Phantom Blood?
I don't
It
know.
was
it's
good,
not okay.
but
It was
weird,
good.
but confusing.
Name 3 gay characters,
good.
Azumi.
Dio.
Nah, you can't use him twice. Give me
No,
actual.
this is
I
like
used him 3 times. What do you mean?
You
you
can't.
can say Dio at the
I'd
beginning.
say
Dio at the
Speedwagon.
middle.
Honestly, Speedwagon. I feel like Speedwagon's probably a little bit like probably likes Jonathan a little bit too much, and the fact that he never
Speedwagon's
gets married.
Just passionate. He's just passionate.
He's very passionate.
I love
Like,
Speedwagon.
Jonathan.
He's cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
he's
I
passionate.
do like him. I do like him a
Sexual.
lot.
Very
He's cool.
sexual.
What are you saying? What are you
Very
saying?
nonsense.
What are you saying? What the hell? I just zone out for a second. I come back and like a very sexual way. What the hell? What the
I said very non-sexual. Non-sexual.
I just heard
I was
very sexual.
I said non-sexual, and
Okay.
I was talking about Speedwagon.
Speedwagon. I don't know, man. I don't know.
It's a very non-sexual way, guys.
What is a very non-sexual way?
Speedwagon.
Yeah.
Are you talking about his affection for Jonathan?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It was bromance.
I
Yeah.
can agree. I can agree. But if somebody were to call him,
But
I
with
wouldn't
Dio,
mind.
it was a whole other story.
Dio didn't.
We
even
know
do
Dio
anything
and Jonathan
gay
were
in
doing
part
something
1.
behind Arena's back, guys.
No, God, no, don't. Jonathan's too loyal for that. He would never.
Okay,
cheat on
fine. But like Dio
Okay,
is just
Dio was
tempting,
definitely
you know?
doing some gay stuff behind the scenes, but like, I don't think he was.
So you think it was one-sided love? I think
Probably.
so
But then again, they
Unrequited
were
love.
brothers. I don't think he actually had romantic feelings for him, because I don't think it was romantic.
I mean, technically they're not
You're
brothers.
shipping some incest, Azumi. Like,
Technically they're not
genuinely
brothers
believe
though.
this. I
Technically.
genuinely believe this.
you genuinely believe that Jonathan and Dio were together.
No, I believe Dio has the hots for Jonathan.
Maybe
Why would he
that's
ever?
why. Maybe like that's why he was so mad because like
It
technically
was sexual frustration, right, Zena?
I don't know.
Yes.
I
yes.
I think like Dio is definitely like, I think he's more like aromantic. I don't think I could ever see this dude in a romantic relationship, but he is definitely sexual.
Yeah.
Probably aromantic bisexual, but I don't think he would ever like have feelings for Jonathan because of the way they were raised, and
Yeah.
that would be really weird and creepy.
I can see that.
Still in the back of my head.
I'm
Why
just
are you
saying though,
shipping-
that
like, that's like
technically wouldn't be
shipping
that weird 'cause they're
Sasuke
not
and Itachi?
technically
Like,
brothers.
are you one of those people that ship Sasuke and Itachi?
They were actual siblings. Dio and Jonathan.
Dio
weren't.
and Jonathan
Okay,
aren't actually siblings.
Let's find some step siblings or something.
Technically. If we're gonna get technical.
Trying to think. Who the hell were step siblings?
Step bro.
I'm stuck in the washing machine. Step bro.
That's what
Dio's-
Dio was literally
Dio's
doing.
head
That's what
Dio's
Dio
head
was
first in
literally
the
doing.
washing machine. No, he
I
wasn't.
burned
He
your
hated him.
dog, step bro.
Help me out here.
I kicked your dog, step bro.
No, he would not do that.
Girlfriend, step
Why
bro.
was he punching him in the face? Like, why was he attacking? This makes no sense. Zero sense.
Because he
He was
was mad
attacking
he
him
couldn't
because
be
that was
with
just
him.
what he was into, okay?
Why was he trying to murder him?
He's into that.
No, he's not.
He's into pain.
You get
no
to
pain,
you know,
no
actually
gain.
have deep maybe not romantic, but deep relationships with people, and he never once tries to kill them.
No pain, no gain. I
Like,
think that's the
if he
saying.
actually liked someone like that, he would kill them after he smashes.
Oh my god.
But it's a canonical thing, though. That is canonical.
Gosh, how
That
did we even get here? How did we get here?
Because Azumi keeps calling him Gabe.
I'm sorry. I can stop. Those are my final
The only thing that I would add to my final opinion is like I liked the opening a lot. And the outro. The outro is pretty good. But
I
I
love
really liked the opening.
memes. We haven't talked about the memes.
Yes.
Like, JoJo's is like a cultural phenom. Like, there's no anime that can compare to the memeability of JoJo's. I hope that's a word because I used it. But
Have you never watched Ghost Stories?
Oh
I
my
don't think
gosh,
so.
Ghost
okay,
Story.
it has like 2-3 memes. It's
I
not
don't think
because
it's
you're a
that well.
rabbit. It's because you're black. Like,
Ghost Stories is so good. It's
We should do
terrible.
Ghost
So
Stories.
good.
we should, but then I don't like dubbed anime.
Yeah.
But I think the memes in JoJo just don't stop. The best part about it is that, like, the characters are so serious. The characters are in serious circumstances. I mean, the characters are serious, but they're in the most bizarre and funny circumstances.
Yeah.
Except for
Yeah.
Joseph, you guys will actually. I think Joseph is probably one of the best JoJos, top 2 easily. Man, I love Joseph. Anyways, any have you guys have probably seen the JoJo memes before you've actually seen the show, right?
Yeah, I've seen some.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I just knew like the cherry one. That's the one that like
a
I
cherry
mean-
one. One thing that I found was insane was like I think Azumi was talking about earlier the ending and how the ending became like pretty much like a pop culture thing. Like back when I was young, when like Vine existed, like the whole to be continued thing was like a popular meme.
Oh
format.
yeah, I remember that. For a while, I didn't know that it was a JoJo's reference because
Yeah, I didn't know that
I
either.
saw it on Vine and I would see it a lot. And like actually watching JoJo's, it like hit me that it was a JoJo reference.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
it was crazy.
like I don't get a lot of the memes. I just get a lot of JoJo references, like all the time. It's always JoJo references.
You'll see the best part about JoJo references is actually being a part of it and seeing. This has been, I believe, week 4, JoJo's Phantom Blood. We'll continue doing Battle Tendency and Stardust Crusaders in the next, not in the next week. We're gonna do that sometime. We're not exactly sure. We'll figure that out. But for next week we will be kind of straying away from our watching an anime every week. We're going to just do a topic that we find is somewhat relevant. We're going to be talking about fan service. Yay! All right, I guess this is it. This is Law signing off.
Bye.
Peace. Bye.
Adios.
Bye.
Adios.
Bye.